Okay, so I'm going to do something crazy, and I'm going to answer the title question right away in ascending order. So here are the 5 mechanics you should learn first in Rocket League. Power hits, wall play, fast aerials, dribbling, and half flips. So why these particular mechanics? Well, that's what this first video will discuss. If you found yourself watching this video, you're probably just now getting serious with Rocket League and looking for where to begin your practice. Maybe up until now you've done some sort of training, but you haven't decided to work on any one major part of your game yet. Hopefully this list will give you a beginner's guide for where to start investing your time. Some of these mechanics are considered progressive, where there are beginner, intermediate, and advanced skills associated with the mechanic. Alternatively, some of these mechanics are static in nature, meaning if you sat down and practiced them, once you learn them, you'll have them for the rest of your Rocket League career. Learning these 5 mechanics first doesn't mean mastering them. It means you should start practicing them and integrating them into your gameplay as soon as possible. My favorite on this list is actually power hits or boomers. I almost forgot to add this to the list because once you're high enough level, you don't think about hitting the ball hard as a mechanic or a skill to be learned, but everyone had to learn to hit boomers at some point, so it's definitely a great place to start. The most valuable thing about power hits at low level play is de-stressing your team. Clearing a ball as far as possible gives your team the chance to grab boost, regroup, and turn on offense with some sort of organization. Getting good at power shots is really about looking for an opportunity to boom it hard rather than just hitting the ball with no intent. Clearing the ball is great, but clearing the ball really far and shooting the ball from your side of the pitch can be devastating for the other team. This is one of the first mechanics that challenges you to slow your play for the sake of making better choices. In the beginning, most of your value in boomers will come from relieving your team of offensive pressure, and with a little practice, your boomers can be on target. Sometimes you'll catch the team off guard and you'll even get a goal. Wall play is another progressive mechanic with lots of layers of difficulty. Remember in the very beginning of Rocket League when you never left the ground and people taking shots in the air was mesmerizing and it looked so difficult? Wall play is another one of those milestones where you reach a certain rank and you're in awe of the people heading up the wall and taking shots while their perspective is completely skewed. You'll eventually find yourself facing defenders who drive up the backboard to meet the ball before it even reaches the goalpost, essentially shutting down your offense before the ball is even centered. Wall play is vital, it saves boost, and it gives you a chance to beat your opponent to the ball. Beginning wall play usually starts with heading up the wall to center the ball. Instead of doinking the ball into the corner and centering the ball using the angles of the glass, you'll have more control if you dribble the ball up the wall and properly aim your center. Other early wall play can be found at half field where players take shots from the wall. Again, the value here is beating your opponent to the ball with an action that not everybody has mastered yet. You can start to incorporate wall play into your game by looking for chances to hit the ball when it rolls up the wall rather than waiting for it to come to the ground. Our first non-progressive mechanic is fast aerials. This is one mechanic where you can spend a few hours studying and hopefully have it nailed down after a week's worth of practice. The benefit of learning fast aerials before people your level is enormous. Fast aerials means getting to the ball faster and hitting the ball harder with less boost. Sir Timbers put together a quick representation of how much faster you can actually get to the ball. Think of fast aerials as properly timing a double jump while boosting and leaning back. This will combine the acceleration you get from a double jump with the boost you're using through the entire jump, effectively outpacing gravity and allowing you to fly through the air faster. Eventually, every shot that you take in the air will be using a fast aerial, and if it's a static mechanic to learn, why not learn it as quickly as you can? You should definitely get comfortable with regular aerials first. Regular aerials are slower, but they give you a chance to react a bit easier when you don't leave the ground at a perfect angle. But the sooner you can begin to learn fast aerials, the better. Knowing how to fast aerial in gold will give you a huge advantage over your opponent. Okay, so back to a progressive mechanic, let's talk about dribbling. When you think of dribbling, you're probably thinking about someone keeping the ball in the car for doing some nutty flick shot or someone breaking ankles in front of the goal. Beginning dribbling isn't half as difficult as all of that. Dribbling begins with slowing the game down and gaining ball control, so start with learning to trap or catch the ball while it's coming to you. From there, you'll want to focus on bounce dribbling, a really powerful mechanic on offense that freezes defenses since you hit the ball with a ton of power and it's uncertain where you're going to actually shoot. Once you have a good feel for those, you can hop into intermediate versions of dribbling, such as getting the ball on top of your car and then flicking. In my opinion, dribbling the ball in your car is kind of pointless until you can also flick the ball with intent and with accuracy, which you're going to have to master way later. So while the dribbling looks amazing in game, unless you're playing ones, you should really be focusing on the dribbling basics I mentioned or something else entirely. And finally, we have half flips, the quiet savior. Half flipping is something that gets no credit at high levels because everyone's doing them so naturally, but learning them earlier than your opponent will save you games. We've all been in a situation where we've over-pursued and need to turn back quickly. Or we've definitely been bumped before and had to do a full boostless U-turn to get back into the game. Eliminating the time it takes to get back into position is part of fine-tuning your game. A huge chunk of time will suddenly be gone once you perfect your half flips. Now there are some pros out there who never half flip, but most players know how to half flip by Plat 3. So start to work on these at Gold 1 or Gold 2 and you'll have the advantage. Just like fast aerials, if you watch a few tutorials and spend an evening session practicing, you'll hopefully have it nailed down in about a week. So there you go, the 5 mechanics you should be learning first. The sooner you start to practice the beginning stages of each of these mechanics, and the sooner you can incorporate these mechanics into your game, the faster you'll have an upper hand on your opponent. So be on the lookout for the next 5 mechanic videos that are going to explain each one of these mechanics in depth. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know some of the mechanics that you know have helped you out earlier than later. I reached out to the subreddit and a number of different Discord channels to ask players of all different ranks what they thought the best mechanics were to learn first, and this is the list that we came up with. But by all means, if you have any other suggestions or things that lower level players should probably be working on first, just let us know in the comments below. Thanks guys, cheers.